Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Allykat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, subscribe if you choose to do so. That'd be great. If you get anything from my work, a connected dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please consider supporting my work. All the links are going to be at the bottom of the description of this video. Artwork, pyramid skulls, artwork. All of that can be found on AllykatKreations211.com, where you could look at my portfolio, and if you like anything that you see, please email me. I'll let you know if it's available and the pricing. So you do everything private. Hi, everybody. Members. Hi. I have a channel membership. It's at 3D. Cheap, inexpensive. That's another way for you to help me with an energy exchange and help get this channel to grow. Channel members get perks like free raffle entries. We'll eventually be doing giveaways and all kinds of other fun. So the 3 people that won, I have raffles. I just did one January 3rd. That person, everything went out today. 3 people won. I added some fun stuff. So please check out the memberships, and I will eventually be doing member-only videos, and that will probably be Oracle cards. Um, I'm under the weather a little bit. I started getting very congested. I have a lot of pain up here, sinuses going on. Probably not anything more than a sinus issue. It seems to be a lull around this time of year. It happens all year, but I've been taking my supplements. Last night I had tea. And yeah, so spiritual soul advice. Hi, everybody. Non-duality. And some of the things I am starting to really discover. Stay tuned. Tobacco, by the way. Schumann has been lulled. So this time of this lull period, when we have an intensity of days worth of spikes, we're here to calm down and actually integrate the information that should be hopefully hitting here. Hopefully. Hopefully. I'm back at work. Today it was exhausting. Most of the kids came back and it was actually a pleasant day. Just a little understaffed. And then I found out that what posted for how much the person that will be taking the other position in my room is $1.50 more than me. And if I don't get a raise for $1.50, I'm walking. Or I find out somebody that might potentially be 20 years younger than me, making with no experience, making more than me, I'm going to have to walk because that's a slap in my face. I was told, don't worry about it kind of deal, but that is also farce when you falsely post what you're going to make and then you don't get that. I don't like that, and I think that's illegal. So hopefully I get a nice raise. That would be great. So that was what I was dealing with yesterday. Um, I've been bouncing back between 2 or 3 books. I don't know why Spirit had me stop 2 books, my higher self. But I started reading this one. I did not get to finish chapter 2 yesterday, but for whatever I read, I'm sold. And not that I was not sold, because I do call this universe a holographic, simulated, ontological matrix. Ontological meaning math. Uh, this is good. This is really good. Really, really good. And it's going into different physicists who had the idea from a very long time ago. And they're walking through in the beginning, like how some of these experiments, there's Einstein, which I'm not a fan of, and Niels Bohr, and some other like guys who really started the thinking of the holographic universe. That has just been mind blowing so far. I'm like captivated by the book. And then this just came today. I wait for everything to get on sale, on sale, on sale. And this one is the simulated multiverse. And I've read his work on Scribed before, was Rizwan Virk. He's from MIT. Um, I had to get my hands on that. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm getting a lot of downloads, and it all is more on the scientific correspondence than usually is with spiritual. Um, and I somewhat the medium that I had reached out to 2 years ago, he's passed on right now, but he transcended, I should say. He told me I'm supposed to start writing books. And it wouldn't come into like my mid till like 40s that I would start writing. I, it's connecting everything via like string theory, but I'm not a mathematician, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I mean, if I correlate and collaborate with what's in the information and what I already know for my own self, mind-blowing stuff, to say the least. But it goes back to non-duality. It's a concept that a lot of people are just denying. The ego, as much as even for me, like for a human, it is very difficult to shed such said ego because you still need it to survive in the third density. It's becoming aware of when it is in use, how it is being used and projected into the reality that you're creating that matters. Um, the last couple of days, peeping into shows, listening to people, it's I I'm at another point now, and this is like very, it's hard, it hurts. There's like I can't listen to much stuff anymore. And it's not out of disrespect or disregard for anybody. It's just I'm my boundaries are like, here's the wall here. If you can't enact them, we're going to from upstairs. I know many of you are feeling very similar, where you're hearing certain things come into your objective brain, and you're like, nope, nope, nope. And this is wasting my time, or scroll. A lot of us are hitting that point. I know I've been hitting these points. I've been fading away. I don't know if it is like a meant to be, what it serves, what's the lesson? Is there a lesson? What how much do I have to hold for others energetically? I don't know. But I know a lot of you are in the same crossroads as I'm at. That's why I'm bringing it up. I know a lot of people want to be super supportive. We're all lovey-bovey and just want to try to help a lot of people. But in the same breath, the very people we want to help are very hypocritical. And it's unbeknownst to them. They're not doing it in a malicious, maligned way. It's just you say one thing and your words say a whole different story. Can't be love and light and hate at the same time. That's just my perspective, and no one's going to change it for me. Not the tab I wanted. So interesting, someone wrote a fact. Quantum physics prove that nothing is solid. It proves that thoughts are what put together and hold together this ever-changing energy field into the objects that we see. Our thoughts are linked to this invisible energy and they determine what the energy forms. Your thoughts literally shift the universe on a particle by particle basis to create your physical life. And I read that because a few people have I already tackled this on one of the lives, but it's worth doing it again in a video. A lot of people have been preaching the 13-month calendar, and as much as I was a little taken aback by people like do your research and being rude with me, that's where they're at, and that's fine. You got to remember multiverse. Dolores Cannon talks about the multiverse. If you don't trust me and my words, you can go to Dolores Cannon. There's 100 million billion versions of you in the multiverse playing out what you didn't play out in this reality. So if there is said calendar, said 13 months, that's a paradigm that some people are actually really experiencing in that timeline. It's not the one I'm inhabiting. All time is concurrently happening right now. There is no past, no present, no future, only the moment in the now. That's hard to wrap your head around and conceive because we're in a linear time space. So we can perceive past, present, future. It's that has a purpose. It serves a huge purpose. Because if we weren't able to go analyze what we would consider past, we wouldn't be able to heal and understand the lessons that were through our line of succession in our lives. Future gives us hope. That's why it was written in that have time space continuum in 3D linear, because this gives us a shedding of an idea of what hope and having faith is. You create your reality in every second of the moment of your breath. You're perpetually creating your reality as your toroidal field is amping up electricity. You're magnetizing and retracting things in your field without you even consciously being aware of it. If you feel that you've been duped by some entity, again, the programming of the program of the good and evil, white hats, black hats, it's an illusion. It's all the things you hate are things you are unhealed from. Well, no, that's silly, Alice, and I would never tackle that. I would never kill anything, and da da da. I'm not saying you would. but there's a lot of unhealed other selves in yourself that can't come to grasp to see beyond this program. It's a program. Please go watch Brian Scott yesterday did the Law of One. No, he did not do the Law of One. He did, what did he do yesterday? He read The Arcturian Council, What is to Come for Humankind. And I listened to it came out yesterday, but I listened to it this morning. I rather than just read my Facebook post, because I might be making sense, but I might not be making sense. Hang on. I found it. I said amazing and profound. Though here's a question, you say you're awake? Oh, you claim you're awake. Mm-hmm. Sure. You claim you know about ascension. Then why aren't you expanding your own consciousness to see beyond the programs, stories, narratives, and duality? Give this a listen, because I have been saying the same things. The truth isn't for everyone. Where do you fall in the 99%? Because I could say not many who make claims have higher awareness. Work on self, be humbled, go within, and do the work on self. Shed the program of good and evil. That's a start. The Arcturians, I'm sure, are channeling through me. I sound just the same as Daniel Scranton, and he's written those books a long time ago, never read them. They're not behind me. And I think they're only on Kindle. So please explain to me how I could be repeating the same exact words and feel the same way is not coincidence. It's because we're being channeled by the same entities, the higher density selves. There was quite an interesting argument on Saturday, not an argument in a bad way, but like a discussion, I should say better. And people's opinions were, I don't know how those people, I don't believe in channeling, because those people, how the hell did they get all of that information in a book? I plead with you to read Paul Selig's work. Watch Bashar. And I'm not saying Bashar, like everybody holds Bashar up on a podium. I wouldn't, but the information that comes out of people when they're writing books, it's sectioned. When Daniel Scranton every day does a channeling from a different being, and then he collectively takes all and transcribes the videos and puts it in book form. It's up to you to align with the information or not. But denying the channels exist when you are yourself a channel, you're just not consciously aware of what is shifting through you. During the live, I showed the pie chart. It might be best to share it again. Hang on. I don't have it. Sorry, guys. It didn't share properly. There it goes. So, fractals of conscious energy that makes your soul up. This is what makes my soul up. I only was giving that as a reference point. So my pie chart, I can add a million more colors to this. This is just something simplistic to give you a conception of. So Archangel Collective, Ascended Masters, Oversoul, Star Seeds, Spirit Guides, the One Infinite Creator in that little zip line, Soul Tribe, the artists, the philosophers, elementals, other selves, multidimensional selves, social memory complexes, councils. All these things are running through your soul, which runs your vehicle. And that's just a small tasting of what I can recollect, what is streaming through me consciously. And you're all individuated with different fractals of things and different percentages of what actually runs through you. And that's source kind of controlling the experience that it wants its other selves to have. Right? Like, not every day am I being creative in the artistic realm. So the artists are hanging back until I get creative and start putting paint to canvas. So they're only going to come out and channel through me when I'm making artwork. When I'm reading philosophy and I need concepts to be kind of connected, then they're going to come out and they're going to point me in the right direction. There is no accident how these books became on sale, even though I'm in a lot of debt and I shouldn't be buying anything, needed to happen. They don't have this type of stuff in the library around here. Are you going within and listening to yourself and what it wants? There's no accidents with me in books. And the books are just permission slips to validate what I already have with ingrained in my soul knowing. They help explain things that I verbally can't. That's why I like reading books. And then I can go back to the book and make it make sense. But if I try to do it on my own, I sound like crazy. You don't want that. I found this Facebook group, non-duality. Uh don't align with a lot. Well, I align with just about everything that's been said, but it's very expanding in the mind thinking arenas. Awakening happens from the inside. It's not about the reality you're looking at. It's about the reality that you are. Ponder that a little bit. Smidgen. The Truth of Our Being. That's the rest of the group's page. It's on Facebook. Once again, when spirit needs me to see things and to expand even further from where I'm at, it's only validating my divine neutrality, which is very much non-duality. Um, the mind constructs, yet in its narratives, it keeps us bound. True freedom arises not in defense, but in no unknowing. Hang on, this might be a good one. This is from Joseph Keel, and it's worth something to ponder. So let's say Jesus came back and tried to tell you the same message that he tried to preach to his followers when he walked the earth, that God is within you and that you are God's, would you believe him or still cling to the beliefs that you have been taught? Would you still believe that God is some man in the sky if the very being you worship came back and told you the exact same thing that is written in scripture that he said and was killed for teaching? See, this is where the illusion lies. He was teaching these things, and the money changers and illusion creators didn't like it because it wasn't good for business. So they killed him for trying to empower the people with the truth. Then they used his murder to entrap you into this externalized God ideal, calling themselves God and leading the masses into serving and worshiping them by creating a reality that makes not sinning an impossibility, and then shaming you for falling into their trap. We must realize that it's not that he died for our sins, but rather he died trying to liberate humanity from being enslaved by ideals and beliefs that disempower and enslave the mind. I'm telling you this because the Christ consciousness that he achieved, I have achieved, and it is something we can all achieve if we decide to go within instead of believing the illusions that have been created to divide and conquer. This illusion is designed to only serve those who seek to enslave your mind and lead you from knowing the true power within. From Joseph Keel. And this couldn't have been wrote any better because I feel very similar. Those of us who've been activated in the Christ consciousness, that are the way showers, the thought formers, the ones that are really now sticking to the duality and the polarity of like, no, no. And we're preaching, we're talking, we're expressing, we're perceiving, we're getting it out. And the words that flow through many of us are Christed, and people still are hung up in their illusions. Yet they claim they're awake, claim they know the Christ consciousness from within. You can't. I had this discussion with somebody that means dearly to me. You can't say love and light and hate at the same time. What a concept. You're not, your vibration is in hypocrisy. It's in disharmony. Because at one moment, love and light, blessings, and perfect positive will to intent on good and harmonious vibratory states for all. And then the next moment, you hate the blue button people, those F and these people and those people, and pointing finger of judgment. Then your living light gets null and void, and you're only attracting all of that hate towards you. When you understand in depth energy concepts, I don't need to be a mathematician to comprehend and conceive and see it in my mind. When someone explains an experiment, I don't need it mathematically written out for me to understand the experiment. If you're showing me visuals and you're explaining it to me and in words that I can understand, I will understand it. This is why this book is pretty good. But I mean, a lot of physicists do that anyway. If I'm reading in the my quantum entangled ponderings, my metaphysical ponderings videos, those are hit or miss with people. Some people don't understand the articles. And that's okay. It's not easy to understand a lot of these concepts when you are asked to discern people and go within. Are you even going within? Do you know what aligns with you? More and more people are arising into the higher frequency of becoming curious about what non-duality actually is, and seeing beyond the illusions that have been created to hold power over you. When you have people talking about calendars, that is a power over you. The person saying it might not feel that way or even try to conceive it to be that way. But there's a power over you when it's like it has to be their way or it's no way. Several people already have messaged me about this. They want more information on it. There are numerous people who talk about the 13-month calendar. Why are you coming to me knowing that I'm going to tell you that if that's the timeline you choose, that's the one you should strive for and get to the frequency that jumps you to that timeline where 13 months exists? It's that it sounds simple. It isn't, because you wrote your story. Did you write your 13 months in for yourself? I can't answer that. Only you can. I did not choose that paradigm. I chose a 12-month calendar paradigm. That's the one I'm currently living in. I said it during live. I cannot be a Pisces. I am not a Pisces. I'm an Aries sun. I am a Gemini moon, and I hold a lot of those traits. I'm a Virgo rising. There's no taking that away from me. Those are three insanity signs, and my fire amplifies all of it. If you take me off of my chart and rechart me to a 13-month, and you start me from a different month, it's stories are illusion too, but like the meaning of when I came in for the purpose I came in for is null and void, because I'm no longer working with the energies that are confined to this story, to the theme I'm expressing, which that story is also evaporating fast. It's evaporating. There's a lot of things evaporating right now in my thinking process. Like, do I really need stories anymore to live my life? Do I need things to define me? Should I care what people think about me? I never did. So that's a distortion that left a long time ago. I'm going to do me in my fullest capacity. If someone gives me constructive criticism, I'll definitely take it into consideration. We can always improve ourselves and our personalities. But if someone's going to sit there and judge me and negatively doing it, that's why I have a neon light that tells you where to go and how to do it. This is from John Cook. I've been scrolling through this page. Understanding your mind as the foundation of reality aligns with many spiritual and philosophical teachings. Our perception of reality is filtered through our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and experiences. In this sense, reality as projection, the mind acts as a lens, shaping how we interpret external events and internal experiences. By understanding this process, we can see how much of what we perceive as reality is a reflection of our inner state. In non-dual teachings, the mind is seen as a tool within consciousness rather than the source of ultimate truth. By observing and understanding the mind, we realize that our true essence is pure awareness, beyond the constructs of thoughts and ego. This is an interesting one. The esoteric mystic teachings are not applicable to those who have yet to surrender to the all. By navigating the expanse beyond the mind, void, one arrives at a state of nothingness, signifying a gateway to the infinite presence. In this realm, the individual's residence with the higher self obtains the highest energy, symbolizing the sacred union of energies and divine marriage, beyond so many see as now. And a lot of the messages here come down to the fact that you need to love yourself. Ra goes into a lot of this when he talks about service to others and service to self. When you're plugging in a sense of fear, well, that's going to happen and this is going to happen. Well, I saw this in my remote viewing, this happened and that's going to take place. And there, like I said, there is no such thing as a prediction. So I don't know why channels are out there making predictions when there is no such thing. Collectively, as humanity, we are jumping and quantum leaping in certain instances, timelines that no longer and will not serve us, period, end of story. If you choose to feed into destruction, are you really a service to others? Are you really in the status of love? One can argue that. If this is just a hologram, which I believe it is, and it's a simulation, we wrote the code. What are you trying to uncover? The thrill of the hunt as a predator of knowledge is what a lot of people chase. As I enjoy reading and learning, I'm not allowing a book to change what I already know within. If there is information in here that can enhance my understanding and knowledge of reality, I salute to that. But if I'm just allowing the CNN syndrome of someone to dictate to me because you're not having time to do the work on yourself, to do the work to expand, and you're just allowing another person to dictate to you history, you already know it. You already encoded this. You did this. You created all of this with all of us. So what is really there to uncover besides yourself? What the biggest distraction is happening right now is it's just that. It's a distraction. It's holding you back from doing your work. Going through the process of the whys. Why do you hate these people so much personally? Not because somebody told you. Not because a document said so. Not because videos are telling you. I don't condone the negative side of a source at all. I just choose not to let it rent space up in my head because I have a reality to create and a better one. Can't do that when you're distracted all the time by negativity and death, destruction, judgment, shame, blame, and disharmony. I'd rather live in harmony. Sorry, guys. I had a pause there. I had to sneeze, and it was very painful. I'm in on vitamin C, oregano oil. Fun. I know I'm jumping because now spirit has come. Uh, so when I went into the trance meditation to close the Stargate, I experienced an overlay of the other densities and dimensional spaces that my higher self inhabits. And they talk about the holograph and how it actually is produced. It's like an unfolding of different realities. That's what protons, neutrons, and all these things do. Because once you observe something, the wave pattern changes because it's observed. You're giving it conscious connection, energy. So they do these experiments, and when the observer sees it, it changes its state. As soon as you are observing tangible universe, material matter, things change. Now, in a light body, traveling to source, going through the overlays, the holographic universe makes a shit ton of sense for what I experienced. Now, that's just a paradigm. That's just a reality that I totally believe we're in. What does that mean? At a smaller scale, that most things, when you're giving your energy to, your mind to, is going to either perpetuate further in manifestation or it will stop when you stop giving your energy and your thoughts to certain things. That's why it's hard for a lot of people when the spiritual person tells you to release what no longer serves you. We're attached to the ideas, the story, the theme that attachment brought to us. The people, places, and things that no longer serve us fade away eventually, but you can have it fade away in an instant if you stop giving your direct thought to it. We cling on for a lot of different reasons. And I know right now a lot of us are no longer clinging to certain ideals, to certain concepts that are holding us back from our authentic, true selves. We're always going to continuously shift. We're, as Bashar would say, you're choosing your timeline. You're making conscious efforts to quantum jump. But a lot of people don't know what they're quantum jumping into. Everybody who wants the Nasera, Jacera, the RV, and the financial stuff, that still holds power over others. I don't believe a computer should tell me if I am sentient enough and light being enough to have a bank account. That's having a power, rather it, regardless if it's light or dark, it's still a power over you. because you're also denying the other portion of source that's giving experience to you. You're not allowing them to live. They have to. It's contrast, detach. But right now that's kind of hard for people who live continuously in their ego and not even realize that they do. Um, I mean, the craziest things that I've heard in the last 72 hours kind of shocks me. I wish people would do more of the self-work instead of looking outside of themselves for the answers to why the world is so corrupted and inharmonious. That's because a part of you is very much corrupt and inharmonious. When you fix those ideals, the outside world isn't really necessary anymore. Sure, you're bound by certain things because in order to be a part of the theme in the game, you have to play it. Certain components of it you have to contribute to. But you have choices to make. Are you perpetuating and having rent up in your mind about all these people and how they need to die and they're horrible and they this and they that as a judgment, or are you going to move on to say, well, it's an illusion anyway. When I don't pay mind to it, unless I can physically change something and give it a different result physically, like everybody is all about stopping the naysayers and the doom gloomers. Well, if you're not actively convincing yourself to go out and actually do something about it, then why is it renting space in your head? It's all about the children. Are you working with them? I am. Just really think about where you put your energy and your thoughts and what systems is your thoughts from. Your thoughts are entangled energy to your higher selves, which is sitting in the etheric realm, in the ether. You're getting all that influx of information, just like how these books, all of a sudden, that group page came across my Facebook. I've been seeking out more meaning in divine neutrality for a year, just about. I started doing letting myself explore the service to God component of why I'm here, what I am, going into an understanding that it's all like Ra kept saying, and to keep saying it, it's an illusion. It's just for experience. Dolores Cannon says it, but I didn't apply it until going back and revisiting Beyond Good and Evil, be revisiting what the meaning of both sides actually have, understanding both sides and going, holy shit, I could just take the eagle eye view and choose from there. I don't need to sit in shame and blame for other people having God experience them through a negative component. I just don't give energy to it anymore. So I ask people, I'm going to be blue in my face until more people actually achieve the integration of the information and apply it to their lives. That means you're going to talk your walk. You're not just going to say something and be a hypocrite in the next moment just because you want to be cool and accepted in society. Because Jesus wasn't like that guy, like the quote I read off the guy's off of one of their posts. How many people ignored? what Yeshua actually was saying. Way too many people. And then at the end of the day, they sacrificed whatever happened to Yeshua, okay, perpetually speaking. The story in the hologram told us that he was crucified and he died for our sins. Okay, is that a real thing? I don't think so. But if that's the collective story everybody chooses to attune to and tune into the channel for, okay, so let's play the game. Why aren't you listening to his ancestry? The people that are back here, hi, me and many other people speaking similar truths, different frequencies, but we're all saying the same thing, and yet so many people are ignoring it. What happened in Yeshua's time? It was like until something bad happens, then everybody starts complying in unity. Oh yeah, he was right. But as he was alive and as he was trying to do good works, it was ignored or called heresy. So what programming are you inhabiting in your body that you need to release because you're being held back from moving forward? We're all going to get to the destination that we seek in our own timing. But we could stop the illusion and disillusionment with distortion and illusion if everybody were to take the step back, hold your horses a little bit, and go, holy shit, if I just did the inner work, if I just understood, if I did more reading, if I did more research, in research, you can research anything. I know somebody that does a shit ton of research. Are they going within to themselves to know if it's true for them or not, aligned with them or not? Are you doing good works? I know many people that watch me do really good works. And it's okay to just be on the beginning part of your journey. We all have a starting position. At some point, we all start at another level. We're all adepts in initiating into different realms of thoughts and thinkings and expansions. We all start somewhere, and that is a perpetual loop of fun to discover. Right? Like I can master this, and then I will become the level 0 adept for the next level. Like I mastered something here, but now I have to start over again and learn again. And that's really what we're doing as we're stair stepping. We get little bits of information. We're supposed to integrate it and see what aligns with us. Leave the other stuffs and components of things that do not. Then we learn more about ourselves, exploring what we're receiving, and then pushing it out into our outer world to manifest. You still have to put action into motion to have a cause and effect. Even in the holographic quantum world, you still have to do a number of things in order for a result to entangle itself properly, harmoniously, without distortion. I mean, I was glued to this book. Glued. I want to see if there's stuff in here I can quote. Hang on. I have no choice. I'm going to find what I actually want to, but this pops up. Boom. He says that everything in the universe is part of a continuum. Despite the apparent separateness of things at the explicit level, everything is a seamless extension of everything else. And ultimately, even the implicate and explicit, sorry, I can't get that word out, orders blend into each other. He also states that this doesn't mean that the universe is a giant undifferentiated mass. Things can be part of an undivided whole and still possess their own unique qualities. And there's a bunch of like analogies here. Hang on, I have to sneeze. Found it. Because he talks about a little bit about polarization. So I want to read. According to quantum physics, no matter how far apart the photons travel, when they are measured, they will always be founded to have identical angles of polarization. Polarization is the spatial orientation of the photon's wave-like aspect as it travels away from its point of origin. Polarization is the spatial orientation of the photon's wave-like aspect as it travels away from its point of origin. And where do we all originate from? The all that is. And you can either travel that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, every way. From its original point of source. In duality, we choose to say light or dark. But is there such a thing? Oh, perception. It's a batshit crazy concept. This book makes me happy. They go very the author Michael goes very metaphysical into some of these things, which makes me happy because it's perception, and I like perception. I like when people think deeper. It's amazing. Um, yeah, so I highly recommend this book, even if it's just something you don't believe in, but it's really thought-provoking at best. Um, so just putting that out there as a potentiality. I mean, and Linda Good says we will eventually become Homo luminous. We are already there. It's just merging with that self. It's up to you to do the work. I haven't used this. Ooh, it's dark art, Ellison. So, hi. All illusion. The biggest quandary of my day is looking at all the potentialities and choosing what suits me best in this now moment. That's all you can do. Honestly. can't wait to take my supplements. And then I have to get some sleep. These are interesting cards. We have Lemure. Loneliness. You can be solitary without feeling lonely. Your true power comes from the inside out. Are your fears real? You cannot let unnamed fears interrupt your own peace of mind. You should be aware of your ancestors and the bloodlines that have created you. Duality, solitary, lonely, fearsome, fearful. We can remove that. The most, like the unnamed and nebulous fears that our brains sometimes entertain, once challenged or placided, these ghosts were not so fearful anymore. If justice could be done in these causes, the lonely lemures would be able to stop their wanderings and eventually seek the underworld. Are they just illusion? Get out of the fear. I am totally not going to pronounce this. Almost there, sorry. I'll just show it. Look deeper. Something that may seem like a curse is actually a blessing. Truth finds a way to be told. You are loved and protected. Reality, fantasy, truth, fiction, duality. It just goes into a whole fairy tale. Just know blessings are coming. We have dragon. Know what you treasure. Change is natural. Holding on to what is impossible long term. Protect what is important to you. Set proper boundaries and trouble may avoid you. Be strategic. Holy crap. Think ahead. Be brave. You can actually triumph if you try. Treasure. Very interesting there. So what are you allowing as your story? Are you going to let your story not steer your ship anymore? Is it an illusion? Is it just something to get you motivated and going each and every day? We could create a new one. We can open up a fresh new book and write new words in a page on a page. We could create a lot of things for ourselves. Are you willing to put the work in to obtain such things? Life is an expression of you. Life is more than existing. Time to do it differently. Go beyond what you have done before. So I'm doing this with my channel. I'm trying to go live a little bit more. Um, I'm trying to do raffles and trying to integrate my artistic side into this channel. Um, I'm doing differently to see if I get different results. And that's all one can do. What can you do differently in your day? Breathe love into your life. Remind yourself to breathe. This is major. Um, one of my kiddos today was having a rough day, and I'm like, little one, breathe. Just breathe. No. Breathe. No. Breathe. Gratefully, I surrender my struggle. I'm trying to do this right now. Accept renewal and delight in fresh starts. Sorry, guys, I know the camera's gonna have to be reset. I can guide and lead others wisely and with love. A lot of my decks are underneath my desk here. The beauty in nature can be the answer to what you seek. Reconnect today. Be open to receiving. You do deserve to receive. I need to do that one. Life never ends. Spirit endures all. This richest soul entangled energy balls of love and light. Who wouldn't love that? that has a lot of vibration on it. There's so much more I want to say, and just my brain is I think too much information. Lakshmi and Ganesh, prosperity vibration. You are attracting health, wealth, and happiness. I pulled this during one of the lives. Mahat, divine intervention. Weigh up your options, choose the highest good. Commander Ashtar. I'm not a fan. Leadership activation. Time to evolve. Trust your ability to guide others. Although I don't like him, that personality, that is the truth, though. Are you taking action for what it is that you're thinking? Are you, when people come to you, are you giving them seedings of information? You can't, you can lead anybody to a source of water. Can you make them drink it? No, but you tried. Right? That's the very main purpose of this channel, is to help people explore different potentialities, different perceptions of thinking. You don't have to align with me. I'm not asking you to. But I want you to go within yourself to know what aligns with you. And if you don't listen and objectively here and do the work on yourself, how are you going to know? You're just going to allow someone to puppeteer you your whole life. It's taking ownership of yourself. Yeah, we might live in a construct, regardless if it's holographic or not, that we allow people to have power over others. And if we all work together, yeah, there's going to be a judge, a jury, and an executioner. At the end of the day, that's how our paradigm works. But we can make changes to the systems and evolve them for working for all people and not just the few. That actual law is fair for all and not just some. The crazy stories that I hear about this state of Indiana, it blows my mind. The things that people get away with here. And then other people don't, they get punished. It's really mind-boggling. It's all a money grab. If money was taken out of the equation for most things, things would be fair because anybody doing wrong would be persecuted for that wrong and not just get paid out of jail because you have the money. If we took money out of the system of thinking and just applied logic and reason to all things without having a greed mindset, a money mindset, not to say money is an energy. You could use it for the best will of intention or the worst. But our society is based on such energy, and it's usually 90% of the time used for negative when it comes to constructs of government and how things run. When you take constructs and you want to think about how to manifest a new earth or the reality you want to jump into, how do you want your world to function? If you have you and a million people, how would you see that world functioning? You got to take from what you know and make some changes to it to make it better. If everybody is in an equal playing field, There is no poverty, there is no rich person. Everybody functions as a unit. And no, that's not when those things are not bound by greed and people aggrandizing off of structures, because it's not allowed, and people are properly and fairly just in the systems, you can obtain all the wealth you want, but you're not going to get away with overbearing on a system or taking over a power over it. I don't care that you have the money. You did a crime, you're going to jail, not that you're not paying yourself out of it. We're seeing a little bit of that now, but there's a lot of injustice that has occurred to wake us up to these paradigms and to the illusion and to these stories and these narratives. It woke us up. Plain Jane and Mary and Bob in a normal community do wrong, it is posted somewhere. Not many now, it's on social media. You can see all the wrongdoings, but you don't really necessarily see the higher crimes and the people that are on under the table doing deals. Life is like the mafia. There's a lot of shady shit happening in many places. And unless you hire somebody that you pay a lot of money for, again, money is ruling and steering a lot of things. It's not good. So how do we fix these things? I was saying to the teacher today, if somebody that is unexperienced and is going to get hired for $1.50 more than me, and I don't get that $1.50 raise to meet that salary, that pay rate, that goes to show how incriminating the system here is, and it's run by the mafia. You got to start somewhere, but how just is that? And the system is going to go down really quick because once you get your master's degree and then you have to take all these credentialing tests, and then you have to keep testing and paying the system to keep testing you to keep a license to perpetuate the ever amounting gross income that the state retains. What kind of crap is that? Not good. No one's getting a free and fair education if each town can't get its act together and the state isn't really funding anything. It's through the towns and the counties. And if you have a small county, you're not going to have the best school system unless you pay for people to move there. This has to that has to stop. Plain and simple. A lot of the systems in smaller states, I'm seeing and I hear a lot of different discrepancies. A lot of that needs to stop. The same thing with policing and any avenue of commerce and exchange of goods and services. A lot of things need to change, but it's up to us to make those changes. If you want different, you got to do different. You got to think different. You got to put it into the reality that you want. And it's very complex when you go down to the nitty gritty to think about such things. But if you want to jump time loop in time distort into a reality, what do you want that reality looking like and how do you want it to function? That's a difficult question because it's very complex. So if we're thinking for New Earth humanity to jump into a timeline to have a better set of circumstances, you got to start thinking in what way do you want those circumstances to unfold? Are you still going to adopt the narratives of others, or are you going to create your idealistic world? It's up to you. I choose different so that when I am ascended, in whatever vehicle my soul chose to inhabit next, I know how to better help my other selves. We're the way showers to the things that we create that others will experience. I don't think a lot of us are going to experience what we create. We will in a different form. It's just like the my parents, they wanted a world a certain way for me to grow up in, and they were the ones that had to create that world. Sure, was it corrupt? Sure, was there things wrong, but I'm a beautiful human being for it. Gaia Gateway Activation, Learning Experiences, Wisdom Transmission, Earth Intelligence. Sometimes it is not our role to know how everything will unfold. When you draw this card, it's a reminder to trust the plan. The wisdom of Gaia is with you at this time, and you can enjoy the natural expansion that is taking place. You may have a tendency to go traveling and look to the stars for answers, but realize that the planet you call home has much to offer you. You have chosen to be here. This may not be easy to accept, especially if your current reality is a harsh one, but the current experiences are vital for your growth. The earth herself cannot escape the challenges that she is facing at this time. Learn from her strength. Learn from her yearning for a better future. Come back to her. She is your chosen home. Excuse me. Sacred inner space. Sacral chakra, tenderness, sensuality. I'm just reading the messages. Save some time. You are being guided to the gateway of your sacred self. This is an opportunity to recognize that the more tender and vulnerable aspects of your being holds keys to greater power. Honor the sacred within. Reclaim any parts of yourself that have disconnected from an abandonment. If you want to experience more love and belonging, look within. There is a huge lesson in finding love within yourself. Realize that false narratives have been floating around your energetic field, stories that have discouraged you from expressing yourself. You may even have been lied to and told you aren't beautiful. This card is here to remind you that you are beautiful, and more importantly, you can create beauty in the world. Recognize that you hold the power of the universe within, and then you'll find your flow. Third eye activation, brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. The gateway encourages you to unlock your psychic abilities and to stop questioning your divine ability to see. Know that great potential and healing will be unleashed when this space is activated. If you have an intuition about something, trust what you are seeing. This is a sacred time, for the psychic potential that you have had since childhood is awakening from slumber. You've always been a dreamer, sometimes thinking about how the future will show up or revisiting the past. Now the gifts that have been discouraged in the past are reawakening, and your inner vision is stronger than you imagine. You have an innate ability to see further than human eyes and are able to identify the energies of what is going on around you with your activated third eye. This gateway is here as a confirmation that what you are seeing and experiencing is divine alignment and that you're being supported as you develop this source given gift. I gotta love spirit. They're on to it today. I had to pull some cards in the meantime. Forgive. The highest octave of a fulfilled soul is letting go of the ugly pieces of life. Keep giving, learning, loving, and forgiving. It's called true love. Stay calm. Be cool, be calm. You gotta figure out your inner strength and wisdom only when your mind is placid. Lights are coming and shine through you. Respect. There has been much help people, from people that you received. Be grateful to those, my dear. Whoever wrote these cards, my goodness, with the misspellings. Decide. Overanalyzing options steal you away from the present moment. You have the power to decide today and here and now. What you will gain is clarity and new chances. Let go of the old and make way for the new. You may find yourself being distracted by random thoughts, fears, or doubts. Don't allow yourself to be governed by them. Simply observe and choose to take aligned actions and choices. Yep. Don't allow negative emotions to fester. If you're feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that instead of fighting your feelings, go with them and work with them. Then true healing can really begin. We can't deflect them, ignore them, numb them out because it's still going to be there for you to have to tackle. Find ways to fill your cup. Be self-full. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. Go deep within, find your triggers and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. For reals. So Willow. Sun, energy. Being closely associated with the sun, this rune card is bursting with natural life, light, energy, and radiance. Illumination is a dominant theme, along with clarity of vision and the defeat of dark forces, confusion, and negativity in your life. You are, or soon will be, experiencing great success, and any obstacle preventing you from enjoying this joy and light is your own belief that you are not worthy of success. Work on extinguishing those negative assumptions within yourself. Achievement can be yours if you change your attitude. Think positively and trust yourself. The sun is the life force, so this card is very auspicious sign in any reading. But there's a warning, just as flying too close to the sun can get you burnt. Be careful where and how you direct your energy. Ensure that your plans and dreams are grounded and that you don't lose touch with reality. Ooh, truth. I love that. And last but not least, the final closings of this spiritual soul advice, me just ranting and talking about holograms and holographic life and simultaneously simulated multiverses. Uh, where is you putting your energy? I mean, stuff I always talk about. It's just beautiful. And I can't wait to read more in a little bit of that book. Seraph of 963. Practice connecting to the joy that is always deep within. You pay attention to what brings you exquisite delight. If you don't know what that is, you are guided to experiment and explore. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity and uncertainty. Let your heart relax. Allow the spiritual grace that wishes to reorder your life to manifest its miraculous magic. Some egos project their narcissistic wounding and lack of romantic imagination onto spirit, concluding that the divine must be rather vain if it wants swarms of angels flying about constantly singing its praises. They don't understand that the divine asks for our love so it can give of itself to us. When we feel love, when we are in love, our hearts are open and receptive. The divine isn't interested in praise for its own sake, but for what we can receive when our hearts are opened by it. When you have a beautiful experience, fall in love, enjoy the best meal of your life, see a film that awakens your mind, do you not want to tell others about it? Our world can seem a bleak and spiritually barren place. We need jubilant, mystical hearts who know the secret of esoteric ecstasy and are divinely drunk in their celestial communions. The universe will provide ample resources to support you doing what you have come to this planet to do. There is no need to turn away from what your heart adores, and every reason to embrace it with total trust. Connection with this tone plugs us into the inner intricacies of our own ecstatic energy field, where we can partake of the miraculous medicine of love and light and be reminded that we can handle anything that comes our way and with grace. It's pretty much just talking about the 963 frequency and the healing that we must do. So I hope that you guys found something interesting in the things that I said earlier. At least expand your mind. I think it's important that we all figure out what we truly want for our own paradigms and ourselves, because there's a lot of people out there that are your other selves that want very similar things to you as well. We have to be mindful that our other selves are us, differentiated in this world. And we all get to choose different places and paradigms and realities we want to experience. So which one do you want to experience? And if it is holographic, it overlays on top of other realities, all concurrently happening right now. So please take that into your awareness as you do your own exploration of what reality is to you. It's difficult. It's mind-boggling, but it's worth the investment because you're worth it. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the shoulder. Be the lighthouse. See your truths. And please go and do the inner work. Know what you want for your reality. And even if you don't, what are the things you prefer? Start there. What do you prefer in life? What systems can you write better? Start there. There's so much that can be tackled if we get the distractions out of the way and come in at Wombmen with what we want and what we prefer and what we want the new world to look like. And it's not necessarily new, it's already created. We got to merge with it. So, what do you want to merge with? What is your reality? What do you want to experience? Once you set that into a thought, put it will into action, there will be a cause and no effect. And for you to jump into that timeline eventually, you can do it right now if you hold the frequency and the vibratory state for such. So I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your week. I'm not sure if I'm going live on Wednesday for a craft and set, but I'm sure going to do a law of one at some point this week, a painting, and I will be live on Friday. It's just Monday. It's been manic. So doing the best that I possibly can with my coffee here. And I'm gonna make some tea and take some supplements and try to get the sinus drainage out. So until the next one, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank all the members for your support, and your gratitude and your abundance is so appreciated. And I thank all of you from the bottom of my expanded heart. You guys rock. And thank you so much. I couldn't do this without you. Until the next one, have a great and fantastic day. Bye for now.